You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey, look at that. It's episode 118 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Well, hello there, Robin.
Oh, hello there, Shawn.
Thanks for joining me for another exciting episode of Soul Forge.
Oh, you're certainly welcome. I'm happy to be here.
I thought you might be. I figured that this week's episode, why don't we talk about how sometimes it's time for a change?
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Absolutely.
Right. And what brought that on is that last week I turned 43.
You did. Happy belated birthday.
Why, thank you, sir.
Even though I wished you a happy birthday on your birthday.
Yeah, you did.
But,
But for,
now it's
for podcast purposes.
for podcast purposes, yes.
Yes. So I was thinking about that. And I had just gotten back from Dragon Con the day before.
Yes.
Over there, it was 38 degrees Celsius. And I get back home here in Timmins.
And it was cold and miserable.
It was, and everybody said it was like they flipped a switch.
Mm-hmm. No, as soon as it hit September 1st, it was, weather just went blah.
It's like summer's over and here's fall.
Yeah, pretty much.
Changing of the seasons.
Change.
So I was thinking about this. And yeah, it feels like it's time for a change.
It does.
Now you recently had a big change when you moved from Sault Ste. Marie all the way here to Timmins to live with your big brother.
Yeah, that's right. It was a big change. And we're still acclimatizing to it, if you will.
You're still in the ramification phase?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how would you say it's gone so far?
I don't know.
Are you enjoying living here in Timmins?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm enjoying living in Timmins because, god damn, it's Timmins.
Right.
I will say, though, after being here for just over 6 months, Timmins is the city of doppelgangers.
Oh, tell me more.
I have seen so many people who look like other people, whether they be people from the Sioux or celebrities, actors, actresses. There's so many people that just remind me of other people that I've seen.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's weird. But that's me.
I never noticed.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got here just after Easter.
Yeah.
It's mid-September almost.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. This city isn't exciting by any means.
It's not a hub of activity?
No, it certainly isn't. The bustling metropolis that is Timmins, that I like to say.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's quiet.
It is.
It's I mean, well, it hasn't been quiet as of late. Apparently, we've had some troubles going on in the city. But
Oh yeah, there was a big standoff or
big
something. with the police.
standoff and whatever. But yeah, no, beyond that, I'm just kind of doing my own thing and staying to myself, which makes for a lonely time. But if I can get through that, I think I'll be okay.
How's your mental health holding up?
I would say it's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Better than it was
Better than
6
it
months
was.
ago?
Oh, way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get back to my old self, though. And maybe not fully back to my old self, because I'll never get to be my old self again, because we've all been through so much trauma, and it's just learning how to heal and adapt from that.
And life is an evolution, so you can't go back to what you were.
Right.
You
You have to change with the times.
New and improved?
New and improved.
Okay.
I hate changes, though. So I'm working on that part.
What are you doing to work on it?
I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what is what. My quitting smoking did not work,
No.
and I have to try to do that again.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I think I've figured out what the triggers are, and it's Tim Hortons coffee,
Aha.
and that's the big thing. Is coffee
If you don't drink Tim Hortons coffee, you don't feel the need for a cigarette as deeply.
as deeply.
Okay.
But then I'd have to eliminate Tim Hortons, and that sounds like I'm not ready for that type of commitment yet.
So do you think you're more addicted to the Tim Hortons coffee or more addicted to the cigarettes?
Well, definitely both.
Yeah.
I'm hooked on both. But I've cut back my Tim Hortons consumption.
This is true because, let's see, you would regularly drink an extra large.
Yeah.
How many times a day?
3.
3 or 4?
Well, and before, like last year, I would say I was at 5 or 6.
It was that much?
Yeah.
Always an extra large?
Yeah.
And all times of day and night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I went from doing 6 Timmies a day, and I knocked that shit down to 3.
Okay, that's not bad.
And
Now it's 1?
it's 1 generally, but sometimes 2, depending. But if I can sit at 2 a day, that's way better than, 3 or 4.
Oh, for sure.
So I would say we've made improvements. There's progress.
Well, that's important. So you're feeling good about the move. It was the right choice?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
And living with older brother, how's that working out for
Well,
you?
so far so good. Other than your multi-vacations where you leave me by myself. But
Yeah.
other than that, no, it's been fine. I haven't had any issues.
Good.
You?
No, there was a minor adjustment phase when you first got here because it was somebody invading my space, which I wasn't used to. But I think we worked it out.
Yeah.
And as long as we keep a lot of coffee cream in the house, I think we're okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the biggest thing.
Right. Because you do like your coffee, whether it's Tim Hortons or just the stuff we have here.
Yeah. I'll drink a whole bunch of home brews, and it doesn't give me the fixes like the Tim Hortons does though.
Right.
Which I've noticed.
Well, that's because they put cocaine in their
Yeah,
coffee or
absolutely.
something.
I love it. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
You should just be snorting their grinds, whatever it is.
Yeah, let me do a line of coffee grinds.
That's right.
Yeah,
Perfect. Might just work.
it might. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, no. Mentally, I guess I would say it's vastly improved from where I was to where I am now. Not out of the woods by any means.
Well,
and I mean, some days still struggle, and some days are harder. But on those days, I just turn on my music and drown the world out, and keeps me calm.
would you say that's your main coping mechanism? Listening
Yes.
to the music?
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially, I would say a lot more in the last few months.
Really?
Yeah.
Any music in particular that you find helps better?
Well, it's always been, for me, to put me in a good, happy state, has always been Black Sabbath or Ozzy Osbourne.
Of course.
And, but lately I've been listening to a lot of Fozzy, which is Chris Jericho and his band.
And Chris Jericho is one of the wrestlers
Yes.
that you so love.
He is the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
Is that true?
Yeah, and he likes to enjoy a little bit of the bubbly.
I'm sure that's a reference that I don't get.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Other people will get it.
Of
Maybe
course.
not you, but that's fine.
Yeah, I don't get all the references,
No.
but I get some of them.
Yeah. So I've been really listening to a lot of that, and it puts me in a state of bliss.
That's important.
Yes.
And you're working hard?
I would say hardly working, but how you doing? You know.
Yeah. I know.
Working hard towards working hard. Let's
Right.
say that.
Yes. Always looking for a better career,
Yes.
a better job,
Yes.
something.
I'm still trying to figure out what I would like to do though, and that's my problem.
Aha.
And I know I'm I'm a creative type.
Yes.
So it has to be something like that, something that I need to be passionate about.
Maybe you could be a podcast promoter.
Oh, maybe.
That's the joke going around the Facebook pages for podcast communities.
Oh.
There's all these people saying that they're podcast promoters, and then everybody's making fun of them because they can't spell properly.
Well, if you can't spell properly.
What kind of promoter are you?
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Hey, and speaking of podcasts, why don't we go ahead and play a promo for another podcast here on the ESO Network?
Sounds good.
Hey gang, do you need another podcast to listen to? Well, might I suggest my podcast? My name is Richard T. Yule, aka at Nerdy Laser on Instagram and Twitter, and I host the Nerdy Laser podcast. We specialize in all things 90s and all things nerdy. We are a part of the ESO Network, so visit us at esonetwork.com. Also, nerdylaser.wordpress.com for more info.
That sounds like a podcast that you, my friend, should be checking out.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm going to as soon as we get off the air
recording
here.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent. Okay, so back to the topic of change. You change cities, you change jobs, you change your underwear.
Yeah.
Everything's good. I feel like I need a change too, brother.
You do?
Yes.
And what kind of change do you feel like you need?
Well, you know what? I just turned 43, and I'm feeling stuck in my chosen profession.
Ah, yes.
And is it a chosen profession, or is it something that I just kind of landed in?
I think you kind of landed into it, and you've just been, I don't know, just kind of...
plugging away for the last 12 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, so being a mailman, when I originally applied at the post office, I wanted to work behind the counter,
Right.
the retail counter, selling stamps and taking people's letters and stuff, because that seemed like a good job. I like getting mail. I'll work at the post office.
There you go.
I didn't realize that you have to be old and hurt and broken to have that particular position.
Ah,
So I ended up becoming a letter carrier, and I've been doing it for about a dozen years now,
yeah.
and I feel like I'm done.
Yeah.
They are changing the routes on us next week.
You were saying something about that, yes.
Yes, so I've been on this particular route for 4.5 years, and I've established a rapport with my customers, and I know what to expect every day, and I plug away. And it's not ideal, but it's what I know.
Yeah.
So next week, I'm taking a different route. We're all taking different routes. We're all in the air. It's all topsy-turvy. Nobody's happy, and we just want the corporation to shut her down. But they're going to go ahead with it anyway. Because an unhappy workforce is a productive workforce, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. That's what seems to be the common theme.
Mm-hmm. But I'm feeling like I'm done with walking the beat, delivering the mail.
Yeah, you know what? I don't blame you there. Especially with as the season changes and winter will soon be here again.
Oh, yeah.
It must be miserable.
Well, it was
doing that job, especially in the...
It was today. It rained.
Yeah.
And it was a cold rain, and I had to come home and have a shower because I was solidly frozen.
Yeah.
So
if you find no happiness in your journey of employment,
yeah,
then I would say you should probably go look for something else now.
it's probably a good idea.
But maybe this new route will
freshen my perspective.
freshen your perspective.
I don't know, because I was talking, just bitching basically at work today. Like, oh, frig, I need a new job, and my coworker John said, "You've been saying that forever." I'm like, "Yeah, I know," and he's like, "Have you actually looked for a job?" I'm like, "No, I haven't."
You know what you could do?
Tell me.
And I don't know if they're looking. And I know I applied for the position, and it didn't pan out for me. But why don't you try to get in with the radio?
That doesn't really pay.
Well, you never know.
I mean, that's true. I do have my own radio show.
Exactly.
So
So you've got experience.
I
You've
do.
got broadcasting experience. And see, I didn't put any of that down on my resume when I applied there. So, because I didn't think filling in on my resume, I co-hosted and produced a podcast for 3 years, was ample resume
experience.
Yeah, but I guess depending on, I guess it would have been for that position in hindsight. But
Probably. Actually, my buddy Renee today, he said, "Have you started working on your resume yet?" And I'm like, "No, not yet."
yeah, you gotta dust that bad boy off.
Well, because it's been a dozen years since I've had to update my resume.
Yeah.
So it might be time to start looking for something else. I don't know what else I could do that would pay a similar amount.
Well, you could do anything.
Can I?
Yes,
I can do anything.
you could do anything
Really?
for real.
Wow.
That's what they tell me.
Oh, anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
I don't know if that's true.
Not around here. It seems to be, yeah.
But it does feel like it's time for a change. The seasons have changed. My age has changed. My route is changing. You recently made a change from city to city. And I've been thinking, you know what? Maybe I just need to get out of Timmins.
Maybe. So are you saying we're moving?
I'm not saying that we're moving, but I was thinking about it the last little while. I'm like, I would like to maybe move back to Sault Ste. Marie, but you say it's toxic there.
It's so toxic.
That's why you had to leave and come
That's
here.
why I had to leave.
I was in North Bay there the other weekend,
And I feel, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I feel like my time in the Sioux, it's done.
Right.
I can't get ahead any further
Yeah.
than what I've done there already. And I don't know if the Sioux would welcome me back with open arms.
You don't think so?
No, maybe a few of my friends would, but that's about it.
Come on, you're the former mayoral candidate.
Exactly why I had to leave the Sioux.
Right, right. How about North Bay? Because I love North Bay. It's a great city. It's
never been.
It's got culture. There's a boardwalk, and Lake Nipissing is right there. You can just go downtown to go swimming.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's fantastic. There's fun stores.
I like fun stores.
It's the gateway to the north. It's just 4 hours from Toronto. It's 4 hours from here, actually, so right in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just, it has great memories for me, since that's where I went to university.
But would you still feel that way after moving there and living there for a bit?
That's a fear, because that was a unique time in my life 20 odd years ago, and had different people that I went to school with,
Yeah.
and those people are gone.
Yeah.
I still know some people there, but the dynamic has shifted.
Yes.
Would I want to deliver the mail there, or would I want to do something else?
I think you'd want to do something else.
I would like to do
I
something
think
else.
I think from what I can gather from this conversation so far is you're pretty much fed up and done with delivering mail, and now you're just looking for a actual solution to not doing it anymore. Whether that be moving to North Bay or elsewhere, or finding another job here in Timmins, but I think the root of it is you're unhappy with your current occupation and you would like to expand your horizons.
That sounds correct. Because I could stick it out and go the next 17 years and retire there.
You could.
That sounds soul crushing.
Yes.
Actually, speaking of soul crushing, that was my Facebook memory today. I think you liked it, actually.
I think so,
It was from something like 9 years ago, and I said, it's not a career, it's a soul-sucking, paycheck-making machine.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
And and it hasn't
We're just
changed.
cogs in the machine, brother. That's all we are.
Oh, I don't want to be a cog.
Me neither. I'm tired of being hooked up to the machine. I would like to unplug from the matrix.
Would you?
Yes.
How would you like to be the machine itself?
Well, it'd probably be a better situation than current, but,
What if we start our own business?
well, I've tried to start my own, but
Oh, yes, your t-shirt making company.
yes. Which is kind of sitting on the back burner right now, as I need to still save a little bit more money to buy the proper equipment so I have it here.
Right.
And I can start producing mass quantities.
Oh, yes, it's all about the mass quantities.
Yes.
That's true.
High quality mass quantities.
Well, yeah, because you don't want to just have some crap.
That's right.
No, you have to have the good quality t-shirts. What is the name of your company?
I don't wanna apparel.
And where did that name come from?
Well, as you know, and actually as a lot of people would know, I've been saying I don't wanna for ever, a long time.
You're not the only one.
I'm not the only one, but I think I was the only one that really amped it up a lot
Yeah, you did.
and would try to, make it a thing. And as of late, since I moved here, I haven't said it as much.
Oh, so that is actually probably a good thing.
So I don't know if I should change the name of the clothing company to I Do Wanna, or maybe we should apparel or something. But everybody has the I don't wannas, and you wake up and you just don't wanna. You don't want to go to work. You don't want to go to the grocery store. You don't want to fucking swear on this podcast.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that. It's family friendly. I apologize.
Well, you know what? Some of the topics, it's not family friendly.
You're absolutely right.
So I will try to remember to put an E on the rating thing. I'll probably forget.
Yeah.
But Anyways,
I'm trying to control my
language.
language here, but it's tough. Words don't control me, so you know.
You control the
I
words.
control the words. That's right. Yeah. No, I feel like with the I don't wanna apparel though, it's universal, right?
It is.
So I feel like everybody would get that, and that's why I decided to ultimately name it that. And I was a big advocate for the IDWs, if you will. So I figured, why not make that a thing? And it started off hot.
It did. You were selling all kinds of shirts, and yeah, your prices were good.
Yes. It's just that, after I had to leave the Sioux, I had to take control of things.
Yes.
And it'll be back. Up and running and bigger and better than ever.
There you go. Awesome. I like your attitude.
Thank you.
It's quite a change from how you arrived here
Right?
all those months ago.
Yeah.
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 You seem more happy,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing.
Well, day by day, of course. Day by day.
Yes. Easy does it.
Easy does it.
That's right. So yeah, so that's what's going on here. You're on the upswing. I feel like I'm in the doldrums lately. Maybe we're balancing each other out.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't really know.
I'm not too sure.
But
I mean, I'm not going to lie. It hasn't been all daisies and roses for me.
sunshine and rainbows.
Exactly.
Okay.
But for the most part, well, hey, I'm still here, right? So,
You are still here. That is true.
and I think that's the most important thing.
I agree.
Obviously.
Yes.
I'm really working on actually trying to get myself motivated to get back into wrestling.
Ah, yes.
I would like to wrestle again, and not full time, not and not go for a long tour of shows or anything. But I would like to do at least 3-4 more matches or something, just to see one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I could still do it. It's just I got to work on a little cardio.
Well, sure.
And get myself into the gym maybe. And I had planned to do that a couple of months ago, but it just, I got to push myself. And I haven't been pushing myself, and that's my problem.
So how do you push yourself? Do you need me to poke you with a stick?
No,
Do you need me to bitch at you?
no, because bitching at me doesn't work.
That does the opposite.
That does the opposite.
Hmm.
So, it's got to be me
Yeah.
that pushes myself out the door to do the things.
So you need to be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
That's a good attitude.
Well, I mean, the shitty attitude that I've had for a long time didn't.
It made you move to the Sioux to be rescued, or move from the Sioux to Timmins to be rescued by your brother.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Yeah.
maybe changing the attitude is what you need.
That's what I'm thinking.
And you've been working on it,
Working on it. But, yeah, we're getting there.
and that's all we can do.
Yeah.
Day by day.
Day by day.
Excellent. Well, I think that was a pretty good update on your situation, a pretty good update on my situation. It's time for a change.
It is.
And don't know what that change is yet, but we'll figure it out
We will.
because we're not giving up. Keep moving forward.
That's right.
All those other motivational things that we can say.
Never look back. Just keep moving forward.
Never give up.
Never give up.
No, you're supposed to say never surrender.
No, never surrender.
Never give up.
Never surrender.
There you go. You got it that time. Good job, buddy.
Thanks.
Hey, no problem. All right, so this has been another fun episode of Soulforge Podcast. Thanks for being part of it, brother.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to the next episode I get to guest host on or be a part of. And we were kicking around a number of subjects before airing or before deciding on this conversation.
Yes.
And do you want to mention the one we had talked about? Maybe we'll let the listeners decide on that one.
Okay, that's a good idea. Go on, proceed.
Well, we were talking about possibly recording an episode about talking about...
Spit it out.
I can't even. Discussing masturbation.
Stories.
Masturbation stories, discovering it, and all kinds of...
Scenarios that happened because of it.
Yes.
Right.
And obviously we decided against that one for this episode. But for you guys, the listeners...
Would you like to hear some jerk-off stories.
Yeah. Would you like to hear the handmade tales?
That's right. Or working without a net, if you will.
Oh, yes. So we might, maybe we'll record it anyways, and we could just put it in the vault and then release it sometime in the future. I don't know. I don't think anybody really wants to hear those personal stories, but
any topic goes on SoulForge. I'm thinking we need a third host, a female perspective.
I agree.
So we'll have to look into that.
Yes.
So anyway, that's one of the topic ideas for the future, dear listeners. Give us your feedback on that. soulforgepodcast@gmail.com or at soulforgepod on Twitter. I may read Twitter. I've pretty much given up on Twitter, but it's an option to reach us. Yeah. So anyway, are there other topics you'd like us to discuss? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. We will we'll dissect any topic that you throw at us.
Yep.
Let's just say that.
There's nothing off limits.
Nothing off limits.
But until next time, have a great rest of your week. And remember, if you're going to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band. This has been another episode of the SoulForge Podcast. Find us on Twitter at SoulForgePod or email the show via soulforgepodcast@gmail.com. SoulForge is a production of Shawn Vanderloo and Friends. You can find Shawn on Twitter and Instagram at Darth Vaderloo. Remember to visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links and share the show with everyone you know. Thanks for stopping by the Forge. We'll keep the fires lit until your next visit.
If you're loving this podcast, you should tell a friend about it.
Spread the word about podcasts you think they would enjoy. There's something for everyone, from entertainment and lifestyle
To news and politics
and more. Share it on social media. Believe it or not, some people don't know how great podcasts are.
or even how to find and listen to them.
You can help change that with a click. Tell your friends about your favorite podcast.
Thanks for spreading the word.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.